Hey, so I did my second Wise Leader interview with my principal at my middle school, Mr. David Miles, and I chose him because he's such a great leader for our school. He is someone who I admire as an educator, and he's always looking to make things better at our school. He's a huge advocate of change, and he's always looking for ways to make things better. He's a great listener of everyone at our school, faculty, and so I wanted to ask him a few questions about how he did change at our school. And one of the first things is I asked him what kind of steps does he go through when he thinks about making a change at our school. And basically, the thing that I got from the whole interview was that it's all about communication within the school. And he is a very proud leader of talking to everyone and getting everybody's ideas and kind of figuring out what the school is looking for and what he can do, from the other administrators all the way down to the students. He listens to everybody. And he said the first thing when any kind of change is brought to his attention, or if they're thinking about doing any kind of change, he likes to talk with the other administrators, the other assistant principals. And he thinks that the first step to go through, because if he thinks something's a great idea and they're kind of standoffish towards it, then it's probably not a great idea. And so it's always good to have a second opinion, and a third opinion, because what always sounds good to you may not be able to see the big picture, and other people can kind of tell you what obstacles you might come across and what kind of things that you would need to think about before even trying to think about making this change in your school. Um, the next thing he does after he talks with his administrators and they figure out maybe if this is a good change, then they need to talk to a few of the veteran teachers, the ones that have been there with them, and that they know their opinion would be valuable to them, and that they know how the school goes and how the students react to things and how other teachers react to things. And so it's always important to talk to these people and kind of get their idea to see if they can maybe, if it is something that they want to proceed with, that these people can be helpful in talking with other teachers and getting them on board and kind of making the faculty and staff excited about the change, and they can be helpful in answering questions if they need to, and more like having more support for something before even bringing it up to an entire school. The next thing he does is he talks to us as a faculty. He says he knows when he brings something up automatically if it's going to go well or not just by our reactions. And so he likes to talk to us before making any serious jumps in what we're going to do, and kind of talk to us to see what our opinions are. And I think that's really important, and something that we've learned a lot about in this class is that the communication between educators and students, and it's kind of like our administrations are our teachers, and so us having a voice with them is important also. So I thought that was really good statement by him. Another one is having, after going through all of this, if they ever have other change or need some change to make things better, they can get student input, and they do this a lot by asking the kids. We take a survey at the end of each school year to ask the kids, what were some of the great things that you liked this year? What do you wish could make our school better? What do you think is something that we need at this school that we don't offer you? And that gives us an insight into what they need and what they want from their school experience. He says that the most important thing to consider when approaching change at a school is to consider your faculty and to consider your students. The students are the most important people in our schools, and we need to make sure that they are emotionally secure and safe in their environment, and that they are motivated to come to school and participate and want to be there. And especially in middle school, who are creatures of change, or creatures of habit, sorry, it's important to not be hasty with change, and make sure that they're willing to adapt and able to adapt to whatever you want to change. I asked him what has worked at the school that he's worked at for almost, or a little over 20 years now. And he said that a lot of things have worked, but one of the most important things that we've done recently, which is something I brought up, is our connections that we do with our students. And this gives everyone a place at our school. Every kid has somewhere that they can be connected to, whether it be knitting or gardening or playing Trivial Pursuit. We have all kinds of different connections, and we go to those once a month. And he said that has been something that's completely changed the atmosphere of the student body and even the teachers, because we all take part in a different connection too. So that has been one of the most important ones. He also mentioned technology, putting new lesson plans in with technology. We're very blessed where we are to have the top supplies and everything that we need with technology, and so that has been one of the greatest changes to have, and to use it as a tool, not so much as taking over our teaching, but to use it as a helpful tool to make our teaching better, which he said has been really helpful. One of my main things I wanted to ask him about was resistors, because through this whole process of this semester, that's something that has really stuck out in my mind, is resistors in the school and how do you deal with them. And he said that everyone knows who the resistors are, which is true. In your school, you know which teachers are stuck in their ways, which ones don't want to take on this new challenge. That doesn't make them bad teachers, it just makes them hesitant. And you know who they are. The other teachers do, the principals do. And so he said you can't concentrate on the people who aren't going to do it. You have to look at the big picture and know that it's for the better good of the school and the students, and that these people will eventually either they'll change or they won't, and that they usually are not a problem in the change process, which was very a positive note for me on this whole thing. So one of the main things that I got from this is communication, and that with any type of change, communication has to be had between all parties involved, and that if it's not communicated, then it's basically going to fail, because you have to have that verbal discussion. You got to throw out ideas off of each other, and you got to know where you're going with the idea. So that was my second Wise Leader interview. Thanks.